If you're hearing this, it's not a coincidence. Maybe no one has ever told you this, but no one is coming to save you. There's no perfect moment. There's no magical someday. It's not your fault that you're broken, but it is your responsibility to rise. And no, you don't need to have it all figured out to start. You just need to make one decision. Keep waiting, or become the miracle your life needs. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how to change your mind, even if you feel like you can't take one more step. So stay with me, because what you're about to hear could be your turning point. Welcome to Napoleon Inspires, the channel where excuses die and your true strength awakens. No one teaches you this, that you can smile even when your soul shakes, that you can love life even when life doesn't seem to love you back. They made us believe that happiness is a prize, not a choice, that it only arrives when everything is in order, when everything feels right. But what if real happiness is born right in the middle of pain? What if the most sacred act is saying yes to life, even when everything inside you wants to give up? Because here's the truth. Life hurts. It hurts when you speak and no one listens. It hurts when you give everything and still get left behind. It hurts when you try and nothing changes. And yet, you're still here, still breathing, even if just barely. And you know what? That alone is already a miracle. You don't need everything to get better to be happy. What you need is to decide that your joy won't depend on external things anymore. Because if you don't choose, the world will choose for you. And the world rarely chooses hope. Every morning, whether you notice it or not, two invisible paths open before you. One whispers resignation. The other demands courage. The first is easy, familiar. It feeds on complaints, excuses, and waiting for someone else to save you. The second is steep, uncomfortable. It asks you to smile with tears in your eyes, to be grateful while rebuilding yourself, to dress in faith even when everything feels empty. But that second path is the only one that leads upward. Choose to be happy, not because everything is okay, but precisely because it's not. That's your revolution, your sacred rebellion. Being happy when life gives you no reason is like lighting a candle in the middle of a hurricane. And even if it flickers, even if it sputters, if you choose to protect that flame, the world won't be able to put out. You weren't born just to survive with your head down. You're here to claim your light, even in the middle of the shadows. We often think that pain is a sign something is wrong, that if it hurts, we must have failed, that if it hurts, we're not made for this. But let me tell you something that might change your life. Pain isn't destroying you. It's shaping you. Did you know that diamonds are only born under extreme pressure? That steel only hardens in fire? That muscles only grow after they've been torn? Then why would your soul grow strong without first being touched by fire? You're not weak for feeling pain. You're not less because you fell. You're not broken. You're being shaped. Life isn't punishing you. It's training you. Every night you cried when no one knew. Every morning you got up without the strength. Every day you pretended to be okay when you were falling apart inside. That was invisible training. Silent, lonely, but sacred. Because it's on that internal battlefield where real strength is forged. Not the kind you can see, but the kind that keeps you walking when your soul weighs more than your body. So hear me. You're not weak because you've suffered. You are strong because despite the suffering, you're still here. Look around. Many gave up with less. Many faded after the first blow, but you're still breathing. And even if you don't see it yet, that pain you carry inside, it's refining your character. It's purifying your intentions. It's preparing your spirit for something you don't yet understand. The problem is no one told you. No one told you that fire doesn't always burn. Sometimes it cleanses. That the storm doesn't always come to destroy you. Sometimes it comes to push you, where you never go by choice. That the silence where you feel most alone might be the workshop, where God rebuilds you without witnesses. You're not a mistake in the middle of the pain. You're a work in progress. And pain, it's just a tool. Can you feel it? That ache in your chest. It's not punishment. It's space. Space for the new, for the real. So stop running from the pain. Clench your jaw if you must. Cry if you have to. But don't stop, because you're not falling. You're laying the foundation for your next level. And when that day comes, because it will come, When you look back at everything you've been through, you won't feel shame. You'll feel power. The kind of power only found by those who've been tested in fire and chose not to give up. Your mind is both the most sacred and the most dangerous place, because everything you experience on the outside is first decided on the inside, and no one trains you for this. No one tells you that your thoughts aren't always true. That often, what you repeat in silence is what's slowly destroying you. If you don't control your mind, your fear will. And fear doesn't reason. It doesn't listen. It only shouts. That's why I'm telling you, your mind is a battlefield, and if you don't protect it, it becomes enemy territory. Ask yourself, what thoughts do you let in every morning? What voices keep telling you? You can't. It's too late. You already failed. Do you realize how many beliefs you've embraced that were never yours to begin with? Beliefs you heard from someone broken, someone who never healed? Your mind is like a house, and you are its guardian. But if you leave the door wide open, everything gets in. The noise, the judgment, the comparison, the memory of what you didn't achieve. You can't stop the knocks, but you can choose who stays. You don't know fear bed. You don't know the past a voice. You don't know self-sabotage a seat at your table. What you don't guard takes over, and what you repeat becomes your reality. So hear this clearly. You are not what you think. You are what you choose to believe, because every thought you accept shapes your decisions, and every repeated decision becomes your destiny. Your mind must not be a dumpster for guilt or an altar for your insecurities. It must be a temple, a place where faith is built, where direction is chosen, where truth is honored. How do you train your mind? With awareness, with repetition, with discipline. Every time a destructive thought appears, don't ignore it. Confront it. Ask it, where did you come from? Who do you serve? What purpose are you trying to bring? The thought isn't a problem. The problem is when you accept it as law. If you knew how many times your mind has lied, just to protect you from change, you'd realize your job is not to obey it. It's to lead it toward what builds you, what strengthens you. Imagine your thoughts are soldiers. Are they fighting for you or against you? Every morning is a new battle, and you don't have to win them all. Just win today's. Today, choose to think with purpose. Speak to yourself with love. Guide yourself with intention. Because if you don't lead your mind, someone else will. And you weren't created to be a slave to your thoughts. You were created to master them. And from there, conquer your reality. The truth is harsh, but necessary. If you rely on motivation, you will fail. Because motivation is like the weather. It changes by the hour. It shows up, disappears, comes and goes without warning. But discipline is the choice you make. When you don't feel like choosing anymore, it's what holds you. When everything else falls apart, you won't always have energy. You won't always feel inspired. But that's where discipline steps in. Discipline is that do it anyway. You tell yourself, when everything inside you screams no. And guess what? It's not a chain. It's a lifeline. It's what keeps you moving. When the sea is dark and no land is in sight, many people wait to feel ready before they start. You don't. You choose to act, even when you feel nothing, because you know that if you let emotions run your life, you'll retreat every time the storm visits. Think about it. A bridge isn't built in one day. It's built stone by stone, through rain, through cold, through pain in your back. Discipline isn't glorious. It's repetitive. It's invisible, but it's what separates the dreamer from the builder. Many have a vision, but few have consistency. Many want results, but few are willing to do the hard thing again and again. You know who wins? The one who does it even without motivation. The one who doesn't negotiate with their purpose. The one who doesn't argue with their commitment. That can be you if you decide that emotion is not your compass. That discipline is your foundation, and that foundation will hold you. When the winds get strong, it will anchor you. When everything else feels like it's falling apart, people will call you obsessive. They'll tell you to slow down, to take it easy, but they don't understand because they can't see what you see. They don't know the weight of the promise you made to yourself. They're not building what you're building, but you know that every act of discipline is a stone in the bridge that leads to the other side. Even if no one sees it today, even if it hurts today, that bridge is rising. and the day will come. We'll walk across it, steady, complete, free, while others wait to feel good before moving. You move, so you can feel good afterward, because you understand that self-respect doesn't come from instant success. It comes from staying faithful to your word. And that word is discipline. No one's going to force you. No one's going to reward you. But you're not doing this for applause. You're doing it because you promised. You'd never betray yourself again. Because one day, when no one was watching, you said quietly, I'm going to do this, no matter what. And you've kept that promise. Maybe you're not the fastest. Maybe you're not the most talented. But you'll be the most consistent. And in the end, that changes everything. We all carry an image in our minds. A dream, a goal, a destiny we aspire to. But only a few, very few, have a vision so clear, so powerful, that it burns hotter than their pain. Because pain will come. It'll show up as doubt, as failure, as fatigue, as criticism, as betrayal. But if your vision isn't stronger than that pain, you'll stop. Vision isn't a pretty wish. It's not something you post on social media and repeat like a mantra. Vision is an inner fire that doesn't let you quit. It's the memory of who you can become, even when you don't recognize yourself right now. It's what keeps you awake at night, when you're not moving forward. But that vision, you must protect it, because the world will try to kill it. They'll tell you you're crazy, that it's not realistic, that you don't have what it takes. They'll project their fears onto you and call it advice. But don't be confused. Not everyone can see what you see. Only you know the blueprint of what you're building. Only you know how many tears you've shed for it, how many times you've wanted to quit, how many times you chose to keep going. Vision is a flame in the middle of a storm. If you don't protect it, it goes out. If you don't feed it, it weakens. And when that happens, everything loses meaning. That's why you must remember it every day. Write it down. Repeat it. Visualize it like it already exists. Because if you don't see it, no one else will. Your body will ache. Your mind will doubt. Your emotions will betray you. But your vision must stay solid. It must be your reason why. Your engine. Your compass. When everything around you is fog. Look at the great ones. They didn't get there because it was easy. They got there because their vision burned so brightly they couldn't ignore it. While others rested, they moved forward, not because they weren't afraid, but because they decided their vision mattered more than their fear. And you, what are you building? What image do you carry inside that no one else can see? What monument are you daring to build? Even if, from the outside, everything looks empty, imagine a field, nothing but dirt. And there you are, day after day, laying stones. People pass by and laugh. They say, what are you doing? Because they can't see what you see. But you've already seen the pillars. You've seen the foundation. You've seen the dome that will rise one day. And that vision is enough to keep you going. Even if you're alone, even if you're tired, even if there's nothing visible yet. The pain is real, but your vision must be stronger. Because the day will come when that monument rises. And those who once doubted you will look on in awe, asking, how did you do it? And you'll smile, not for revenge, but for honor. Because you saw it before anyone else. Because your vision was bigger than your pain. There is something no one can take from you. The right to write your own story. But most people live as if someone else is holding the pen. As if the past is the author. As if circumstances have the final word. As if what hurt them yesterday gets to decide what happens tomorrow. But listen, you're not here to repeat chapters. You're here to write a new one. One where you're not the victim of what happened, but the author of what you choose. And yes, you've been hurt. You've been let down. You've let yourself down too. But that doesn't define you. You are not what they did to you. You are not the mistake you made. You are not the betrayal, not the abandonment, not the failure. You are what you choose to do with it. Pain can be an excuse, or it can be a platform. You decide. You can keep repeating the story of what broke you, or you can start building something with the pieces. No one is going to give you permission. No one's going to hand you power, because you already have it, not in the form of control over everything, but in the form of a decision. Who will you become now? To be the author of your life means letting go of waiting for fairness and starting to create purpose. It means dropping the victim script and writing in the ink of bravery. Sometimes we think giving up is easier, that letting life decide is more comfortable. But comfort never built greatness. Every time you choose to get up again, you are rewriting your story. Every time you say, I'm still going, even when the world says that's enough, you're taking back the pen. You don't need total clarity. You just need to do what you know is right. And that, day after day, becomes a life. You know what those who transform their reality all have in common? They stopped telling the story of their wound and started writing the story of their healing. So today, make a choice that you won't hand your life over to fear. That pain won't get the final word. Pick up the pen, breathe, and write the story no one expected from you. A story of redemption, a story of purpose, a story where no one saved you because you chose to save yourself. And that is what makes you unstoppable. No one wants to go through the fire, but sooner or later, we all face it. The fire of loss, the fire of failure, the fire of moments, when everything you knew disappears. And when you're there, burning from the inside out, your first thought might be, why me? What did I do wrong? But what if the fire isn't there to punish you, but to reveal you? What if it's not destroying you, but burning away what you no longer need? A sword isn't born sharp. It doesn't come out perfect from a metal. First it melts, then it's hammered again and again, not to break it, but to shape it. And you're no exception. Every storm you faced, every blow you didn't see coming, every day when the pain was so heavy that all you could do was breathe, all of it is part of your forging. Because fire doesn't only destroy, it also purifies. It burns away what's impure and leaves only what's essential. And the essential in you is far stronger than you think. Pain can transform, but only if you choose not to harden, but to awaken. Some go through the fire and come out bitter, but others come out shining because they realize the fire wasn't the enemy. It was the teacher, the lesson they never wanted, but deeply needed. Maybe you're there now, in the middle of the fire. Everything's burning. Nothing makes sense. But stop for a moment. Look closer, because in the flames, there is something that will not burn. Your soul, your faith, your purpose. That cannot be destroyed, not even by the worst storm, because it was planted by something greater than you. So what if, instead of running from the fire, you stood your ground? What if you let do its job, to burn away your pride, your doubt, your false paths? And what's left will be your purest essence. The part of you that doesn't negotiate with mediocrity, that doesn't surrender to the opinions of others, that knows exactly who you are, not because of what you have, but because of what you've survived. There's a power in you that only the fire can reveal. And if it hurts right now, if it burns, if nothing makes sense, stay. Because when the flames die down, and they will, what you'll see in the mirror will be someone unrecognizable. Not because you lost yourself, but because you finally found yourself. You've been waiting for answers. You've been praying for a sign, hoping for a miracle to change your life. Someone or something to pull you out of this darkness. But listen carefully. The miracle isn't out there. The miracle is you. What you were searching for has always been inside. Every scar, every fall, every time you broke and still decided to rise was a page in the miracle you were writing. They told you miracles are supernatural, that they happen when the sky opens, and everything changes in an instant. But they never told you the most powerful truth. The real miracle is choosing not to give up. When everything screams that you should, it's getting up on a Monday with no hope and still doing what's right. It's looking at an empty bank account and still dreaming of abundance. It's loving again after being betrayed. It's trusting again after being broken. You see, not everyone could do that. Only someone who's discovered who they truly are. You're not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not what others said about you. You are what you choose to do from this moment forward. And if today you choose to believe, to keep going, to love your life even when it hurts, then you're no longer a victim of destiny. You're its architect, because the only thing separating the ordinary from the extraordinary isn't talent. It's not luck. It's faith. Faith that you can rise again. Faith that something good is being built. While you do your part, you are the miracle. When you stop waiting and start acting, when you choose to live with purpose, even when the road ahead is unclear, when you stop waiting for something to fall from the sky, because you finally understand that Everything you asked for was already planted inside you. You just needed to awaken. So wake up, remember who you are, and say it with me. I'm a miracle. I am the answer. I am the one who chooses, who acts, who transforms. And from today on, I'm done waiting. I become what the world has yet to see. Thank you for staying with me. This is Napoleon Inspires, where every word is a bridge to your new reality. Don't leave without applying this, because knowing it won't change your life. Using it will.